guys, here we are, episode 3 of building the best Surly Bridge Club. Today we are going to be upgrading all of the touch points on this bike. So that means handlebars, saddle, pedals. So all of that in this episode. I think you're gonna like the results. I'll give you a little sneak peek. Nope. You're just gonna have to wait till the end to check it out. I think this bike's looking really good. I think you're gonna like it. So stay tuned. A couple things I want to point out beforehand. One is we have not been able to ride this bike much just because the weather has been awful. Today, for example, it's about 10 degrees outside. So we haven't really been able to take it out for a proper test ride. Hopefully in one of the upcoming videos we'll put a few miles on this bike, see how we like it so far. Second thing is, if you haven't subscribed, please do. We are this close to 1,000 subscribers. Love to get over that hurdle with your help. So if you haven't, please do. That'll help you stay subscribed. It also lets people know about this and helps us get the word out. Also, I'd love to hear about your Surly Bridge Club in the comments below. We've been getting a lot of comments, a lot of great discussion. Love hearing about other people's builds, and also your feedback on our choices with this build is really appreciated. So comment below if you can. And with that, let's get started on episode 3. Check it out. All right, so the first upgrade we're going to talk about is the handlebars. We end up doing a lot of handlebar upgrades on Surly Bridge Clubs, and there's really two things we're looking at. One is the sweep of the handlebars and the rise of the handlebars, and both of those things can lead to sort of a more upright riding position, which is what a lot of people are looking for. You know, take the weight off their arms, get a little bit more upright, a little bit more comfortable. So one of the easiest ways to get some rise out of your handlebars, if you don't want to swap out your handlebars, is to use a stem with a rise on it. So this stem here has a 35-degree rise. We're not going to do that here. We're going to instead use the handlebars to get some rise and also some sweep. We are, however, going to swap out the stock black stem with a chrome stem, just in keeping with the look of this bike. One of the most popular handlebar upgrades for the Surly Bridge Club, at least in our experience, is the Surly Moloko bar or the Jones bar. And both of these bars are great because they do provide quite a bit of sweep. In the case of the Jones bar, you can also get a 2.5-inch rise. So great options. They also let you carry a bag on them, which is nice. So great option, but in this case we're going to try something a little bit different. So this is the Soma Dream Riser bar, and this bar has about a 50mm rise and a 25-degree back sweep. Not quite as much as the Moloko bar or the Jones bar, but this bar we think is going to give us just the right feel on this bike. It looks great, and it's recommended for touring and bike packing. It's lightweight, it's aluminum. We think it's going to work perfectly for what we're trying to do with this build. Alright, so now it's time to pick out a set of pedals for this bike. There are a lot of pedals out there, especially flat pedals, but for us, we love the P&W Components pedals. We just like the way they look, we like the way they perform, we like the way they feel. They come in two different types. The range pedal is a composite pedal, comes in a bunch of different colors, but for this bike we're going to use the loam pedal, which is an alloy pedal, and we wanted that bling look. The silver looks beautiful, so we're going to go with that pedal on this bike. We think it's going to look great and perform great over time. got lots of saddles to choose from here. We're definitely going to go with the leather saddle on this bike. You know, there's other great saddles out there, but I always prefer a leather saddle, so that's a starting point. A couple of different saddle companies we use. We've used Sella Italia in the past. They make some really nice leather saddles, and we could go with something like that. I will say that these saddles seem to be a little bit stiffer than the Brooks saddles, and they don't, at least for me, aren't quite as comfortable, so we're going to set that one aside for the moment. But I got a number of Brooks saddles here to choose from. The first one here on the right is a women's B17 saddle in black. Great saddle. So for a women's bike, if a woman ends up with this bike, this is probably what I would put on the bike. But we're going to use a men's saddle for this build, and my go-to men's saddle is always the Brooks B17. So I got it here in the brown color, and definitely this will be a great option for this bike. And I have several of these different bikes that I have. Great saddle, but I think we're going to go a little bit different in this case. The next one is a B17 as well, except this one is got the springs in the back. So this is actually a B17 Flyer. So same shape, same upper, just got the springs in the back, which provides a little bit of more comfort. Also, I think looks pretty cool. So that is also an option. And the last saddle here is a B67, and it is a little wider than the B17. I love the finish on this one. It's got the grain in the finish, beautiful saddle. It also has the springs in the back. These are actually chrome, which would look great on the bike. And this would definitely be an option as well. So between these two saddles, we're gonna make a final decision and put one of these on the bike. Doesn't mean we won't change at some point, but one of these will go on the bike, and we'll see which one we end up with. Alright, so let's do a quick walk around on this bike to catch you up on the progress. So there was episode 2, the new drivetrain, Shimano Q's. So this week we put the new handlebars on. We've got the Soma Dream bars. Gives us a little bit of rise, a little bit of sweep. They look great. We did a little bit of work on the stem here. Put some spacers. We'll see if we stick with that, I don't know. We, of course, put the beautiful Brooks B17 saddle on this thing. See how it rides. We swapped out the seat post for a silver seat post. It's a standard Surly seat post. We were hoping to find a chrome seat clamp, but couldn't find one, so we'll go with the black for now. And of course, P&W pedals in chrome. Think they look great. So you may ask, what's next? Well, we're not sure. There's a couple of projects that we want to do on this bike before we wrap it up. And we're definitely going to be doing some stuff with the wheels and the tires, and probably a lot of small things, details. But you'll just have to wait till next week. We'll get episode 4 underway, and check it out. But thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Building the Best Surly Bridge Club. See you next time.
I like it. It's coming together.